How do you interpret this?
I am so fascinated by that quote. There's much truth to that quote, but the point of it is, it wasn't scaring the hell out of anybody while it was happening his last year in San Antonio, because nobody really got what was going on. It only scared the hell out of the whole league after the league stepped back and it hit everybody what that man, Kawhi Leonard, with some help from his uncle Dennis, had pulled off. Wait a second. He did that to them, to the San Antonio Spurs? Takeaway. Kawhi Leonard has controlled this league in ways even your man LeBron James has not, and I believe cannot control this league. I believe, and by the way, Kawhi Leonard isn't even on social media. He doesn't even have a single account, and he has controlled this league, and I think he still is.
No, he's not, but okay.
Kawhi Leonard is the Kaiser Sose of the NBA. And if you know the movie The Usual Suspects, do you know it?
I do.
I don't know if you both know
I've
it. But,
seen,
okay.
yeah,
I've seen
have
it
to watch
several
it again.
times.
He is Kaiser Leonard. That's who he is. Because he is a mastermind assassin that you do not see coming until it's too late. That's who the Sose character was in The Usual Suspects.
Okay.
He never announces his intentions because he's not even on social media and he barely does interviews. And he never gloats about his successes, so he doesn't rub it in and make everybody open their eyes to his master plan. In interviews, he works as hard as he can work at saying nothing. Even courtside after the game in Oklahoma City the other night, I can't remember a single thing he said because he just hides behind every cliche imaginable to the point that you finally sit back after watching an interview and you say, that guy's a diabolical genius? That guy is out LeBroning LeBron? Yep, it's that guy, but you don't realize it until it's too late. So in the end, as I look back at San Antonio, what have I always told you? For 3 straight years, he became my favorite player. And then he began to anger me and finally alienated me because I'm like, what is he doing? He quit on the Spurs. He failed to play 73 games 2 seasons ago, his final season in San Antonio, because he was Kaiser Sose and he had a master plan. He and his uncle were willing to force a trade, and they knew what was going to happen. It wasn't going to be to the West because you don't want to have to deal with him in the West,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
They knew it was going to be to the Eastern Conference, so they knew wherever they went, as long as it was a reasonable team, that they would have a chance to pull something off in the East.
Right.
And they needed some luck. They needed some Golden State injuries. They needed the luckiest bounce I've ever seen on a game-winning shot. But they pulled it off.
They did.
So he goes and wins a championship in, of all places, Toronto, which may never win a championship again. And he's the finals MVP, and that gets him to complete and utter unrestricted free agency because the master plan is to go home. And then what does he do? He bamboozles, of all people, LeBron James. He sets him up, he pulls the wool over his eyes, and then he jerks the rug out from underneath him because LeBron's telling all of his media cohorts that we got him. Everybody widely, rampantly reported he's going to the Lakers, right? And on the night of July 5th, we had one earthquake, a real one here, and then we had a second figurative earthquake. Kawhi Leonard is going to the Clippers? And then what did he do? Kaiser Sose, Kaiser Leonard, he quietly builds a better team than LeBron has, in my estimation, at least a deeper team. You can argue the two at the top, but it's he and Paul George and then a really deep team of dogs, man. They got some
But they were
ballers.
The thing was, Skip, you have to understand, is that Kawhi went to a great situation. He went to a team in Toronto that was the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So it wasn't like he went to a bottom feeder.
No, but I mean, he made it the #1 seed.
No. They were #1 the year before.
Oh, you mean, okay, I got you.
LeBron them beat them. They won 59 games the year before. He comes to the Clippers. The Clippers took 2 games off Golden State.
But remember, they gave up their best player for him, DeMar DeRozan. I'm not saying
I'm
I'm not a big fan, but they did. You know.
Yeah, but and the Clippers, Skip, for me, it was over for San Antonio the moment they questioned him. It'd have been very interesting to see how this plays out if they don't question him. And you remember, Skip, we talked about that. I said, Skip, it's never going to be the same. He done. I said, I don't know Kawhi Leonard from a stack of papers, but let me tell you something about him by observing him. He has what we call an implosive personality. He'll just let everything go, Jenny. Okay, all right, yeah, sure.
But then it.
And then when it explodes,
Okay.
there's nothing. They could have brought R.C. Buford. They could have brought Greg Popovich. They could have brought Tim Duncan. He had made his mind up. You question him. You don't believe when I tell you I'm hurting. He was done.
I get that.
It was, but Skip, this is something that is not new to basketball. It's always been like this in basketball, unlike any other sport, where the superstar controls the narrative. Magic Johnson got his head coach after winning a title. Paul Westhead got him up out of there. Now, what coach? As great as Tom Brady is, he can't get Belichick fired. As great as these quarterbacks are, they ain't get nobody fired. So this narrative about, oh, he changed, oh, he didn't. No, he didn't. LeBron James, see, here's the thing, Skip, think about this here. LeBron James fulfilled his obligation in Cleveland. Now, last I checked, the only person that I know outside of these corporations that owns a TV company is Oprah. I ain't never seen no LeBron network. Now, people got mad at LeBron that a network put him on when he made his announcement. He fulfilled his obligation. He didn't demand a trade like Melo. He didn't demand a trade like some of these other players. He fulfilled his obligation. So LeBron is giving these guys the dynamic that says, you know what? You don't have to die in a situation where they're not trying to win. Go out. Says, you know what? I want out.
Okay, but LeBron did it conventionally, out front, up front, in the open, every time. It was just conventional.
Skip, he wanted to fulfill his obligation because he didn't want to, because, look, we find fault with everything LeBron does. No, not we, you. And a lot of other people find fault with everything that he does. Can you imagine if LeBron James at any point in time had a demanded a trade in Cleveland the first time, or Miami, or can you imagine, Jeannie, LeBron James demanding a trade? It will stop.
I can't really.
It will stop.
Well, he did last year. He did demand a trade.
No, he didn't.
To go get AD. He demanded it. You know it, and I know it.
Whoa. That's not.
And it was kind of heavy-handed. It was kind of ham-fisted.
Did he
like,
demand?
I'm just going to force it. I'm going to bully the Pelicans into trading him.
Did he demand that they go get Paul George? A simple no or a simple yes is all I need.
You didn't know about it.
No.
You didn't see it coming.
But I think he knew.
So in other words, as long as we don't know about it, it's okay.
LeBron was trying to trade his whole roster for half the year. He was.
Skip.
LeBron's going to trade you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Not fun.
But the fact of the matter is, Skip, he was doing the same thing. Okay, we didn't know about it. We know about it now. So how do you feel about it?
I told you how I felt. I was furious. I gave up on Kawhi Leonard because he quit with a quote-unquote thigh bruise. So he quit his way out of town, remember, with a whole year left on his deal.
Skip, let me ask you a question.
This wasn't free agency. He didn't play out his deal.
Right.
He forced his way out of the deal.
Let me ask you a question. If the Spurs had believed that his injury was as serious as he believed that it was, and Tony Parker, trying to be cute, doesn't say, my injury was 100 times worse. Call a meeting. Put Kawhi on the hot seat. Do you believe Kawhi would have still asked to be traded?
I do. I think it was a big master plan from the start.
I don't.
I think this guy is holding the league like, you know, the first commercial we saw for New Balance where the crown is swinging from his keychain. The whole NBA is now swinging from his keychain. That's how he's doing it.
I don't believe it. I believe
master
that
plan.
Once they backed him into the corner, as a matter of fact, yesterday, Skip, I was at this event I was telling you about, and the guy walks up to me. He's formerly from Colorado. I heard you making fun of my commercials. I'm the producer. I did all those commercials that you see with Kawhi. I'm like, yeah, they're still trash. I don't care what you say. He said, I'm a big fan of yours. I said, yeah, good.
Did he say there's more coming? More
I hope not.
Because
I'm
it's 2 for 2.
More.
And they're aimed directly at your man, LeBron. He is openly challenging LeBron James.
Hold on. Time out. Wait for a second. This might be the first time in history that someone does a commercial and they aim the commercial at another person. Do you think Apple have commercials aimed at Google, or they're trying to get people?
Wait a second, Shannon.
Yes.
It's not just at another person. It's at the face of the league.
I thought you tried to sell a product. Or you
Face
trying
of
to
the
get that?
league.
Or you trying to get that other? Hold on. You say he's what? I thought you said Kawhi was the face of the league.
I never said.
All right, he never was, and he never will be.
I've always said LeBron was the face.
Always
of the
will.
league.
And he's
Come
the
on.
best player in the league.
Nope.
So let that sink in for a second, Jenny. I'm gonna do a commercial. I'm gonna spend millions of dollars to get the person, the endorsee, and then I'm gonna spend millions of dollars to get it on air. But I'm gonna take a shot at somebody, not try to sell the product.
You can do both. You can do both, just a
No.
little.
I
Sneak
don't-
that in there. No?
The end of the day, when you selling product, the bottom line is to do what? Make money or take shots at people. What is it, Jenny?
Make some money.
Exactly.
What's this latest commercial? What's the indication?
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't know.
You should care, because it's basically saying that he moves and the rest of the league follows. That means I control the league.
Who was out here first in the West? Did LeBron go that way and then come over here, or did LeBron come to the West first?
Yep, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's why the one he dropped on opening night during the Lakers-Clippers opening night conflict, it said he's exiting at Kawhi Town. in Kawhi Town, which is Los Angeles. So he's basically saying, this is my time and my town now.
Actually, it's
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.